Welcome back to Insight. We're downtown at Barrett McNagny with Josh, and we want to talk about real estate law. And people may be confused. They've bought homes, they've sold homes, they've never needed to talk to a lawyer.
No, for the most part, in the residential market, the realtors do a really good job and know what they're doing, and they'll get a transaction from start to finish without much intervention. Where we get involved on the residential side usually is if something goes wrong. If there's a dispute over an inspection issue, or maybe the house isn't quite what they thought, that's when usually we see a call on the residential side of things.
So you do occasionally see things residentially?
We do, but like I said, usually it's reserved to that situation. Maybe it's an out-of-town buyer who just wants a little extra help or hand-holding getting across the finish line, or more often than not, though, it's when something's gone wrong.
So does that mean that you're more often involved in a commercial transaction?
Yes, absolutely. For the most part, what we do here is we will help businesses or individuals buy, sell, develop real estate, usually for some sort of a commercial or retail or maybe even an industrial type of use.
Why would I need legal assistance, I guess, in those cases?
Well, you've probably heard the old saying, it's location, location, location. From a real estate law perspective, I like to think of it more of diligence, diligence, diligence. I think there's a lot that goes into it in making sure that the property is what you expect it to be, that the title is correct, that there are no encumbrances on the title, that the survey, the boundaries of the land are where you expect them to be, that there are no easements that might affect the intended use, and then last, and certainly not least, is that the zoning will permit the intended use. So there's a lot that goes into it on the diligence side of things, just making sure that you're getting what you're paying for and that you're able to use it in the way that you hope to use it.
It sounds like if I'm making a commercial real estate transaction, it would be better to get your help ahead of time than try to come in later and fix it?
Yes, we will get the call from time to time as well. Somebody's tried to do it on their own and only to find out that maybe they didn't have access to the property, which you would think is kind of a simple thing, but it does happen. There's a road that goes by the boundary of the property and they think they have the right to use it, but for whatever reason, maybe there's an easement or it doesn't quite touch the property. But it's just not there and not able for them to use it.
So how do I, as a buyer, I guess, even know what my property is zoned for? How does zoning work?
Well, the city actually has done a lot over the last couple of years to update their technology. There's a website, if you care to get on it. Both the county and the city both have a very similar website where you can search by your property address and figure out what the zoning is. From there, it's a matter of taking that zoning designation and looking it up in the ordinance and figuring out, okay, I have a C1 zoned property, I can do these things on it. And so if you're anticipating building or using the real estate, you just have to make sure that, hey, if I want to have a gas station, that I have the correct zoning, or if I want to have an insurance agency, that I have a certain type of zoning. So just a matter of going through that process of first checking to see what it's zoned, and then second, making sure that that zoning allows your intended use.
And we haven't even talked about leasing. I assume many of these same ideas still are involved there?
Yes, they are. Absolutely. The zoning doesn't go away just because you don't own it. If it's a lease context, you still need to do that little bit of homework and that little bit of diligence to make sure that you can use the property the way that you intend before you sign that lease and commit yourself to big payments over a certain number of years.
People can contact you by calling, obviously. The website has some more guidance as well, correct?
Yes.
All right.
Yep. Phone, email, even from time to time text or Facebook messages, we get them all.
All right. If you'd like to find out more, barrettlaw.com will get you there, or you can call their office. The number on the screen. We'll be right back on Insight.